We're talking push trucks, PA posse, really big right rear wheels, and racing on dirt. From Silver Dollar to Williams Grove, Eldora to Devil's Bowl, and of course, Knoxville. This is Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Now your hosts, Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Hello again. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires here on MRN. So glad you joined us talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. Erin Evernham and Steve Post here. We have got a fantastic show. Spectacular, fantastic. Fantastic, but not cool. Okay, but not cool. We got to change that. So we're ahead of the curve. We're remembering that early on, okay? A fantastic show. We're going to talk a lot of Pennsylvania sprint car racing because that's where the World of Outlaws were. Solidly representing the Pennsylvania posse, Danny Dietrich, and representing them well on Friday night with a National Open win. Oh, the argument is on. Logan Schuchart, yeah, he's everybody's favorite. He won at Port Royal. And then we're going to go way out west because the Trophy Cup is up this weekend out in Tulare, and we're going to talk to the reigning champ of the Trophy Cup, Bud Kaeding. So that and a whole lot more. We are glad you joined us here, and we are set for 1 hour of great sprint car talk. As I mentioned, alongside is Erin Evernham. It is so... It's so funny in the era we're in now, okay? Because you and I'm thinking back 20 years ago, where on Thursday the area auto racing news or the Gator racing news would show up and you know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, we're living in an era. Did you watch Dirt Vision on Friday night? Yeah, we watched it. You watch these races live.
Yeah.
We follow along on social media, and it really, from covering it and enjoying it, it is amazing, and there was a lot to enjoy as far as the racing from Williams Grove on Saturday night. Once we got the track widened out, man, the racing was it was good fun up there.
It was a spectacular race. You watched it from qualifying on, and the heat races, there wasn't a lot of passing. Track was still narrow, but I think that was one of the best features I've watched at Williams Grove.
It was funny watching that race and then thinking about it. We had Greg Hodnett on the show last week, and he said he was concerned of the width of the racetrack, which would put an emphasis on qualifying.
Yep.
He was concerned of passing in the heats, but ultimately he felt good about the overall speed of the Pennsylvania posse. Well, when you look at the night, it really was, because the overall speed, and in this case carrying the banner, was Danny Dietrich. But and Greg mentioned Danny and Lucas and Lance and himself and other drivers there. But ultimately, Greg was really interesting going back and listening to it because he was accurate on every point. And ultimately, the Pennsylvania speed with Danny Dietrich ended up what won the race. And then a huge celebration, and all hell broke loose then.
I saw people hanging on the Beer Hill fence.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, when that happens, it's just chaos there. And then it's just a matter of keeping the circus confined within the property of Williams Grove. It's not a matter of managing the circus. It's just trying to keep it so it doesn't spill out into the general public. They are great. They are happy. The Beer Hill gang lost their minds collectively. Yes. Big Matt was the guy on top of the fence. We tweeted that out. Yeah. And, so signs, banners, selfies. It's so funny with the Pennsylvania guys because a lot of times when a Stevie Smith or Lance Deweese or Greg Hodnett or Lucas Wolf win, they're pretty low-key. In victory lane, they're just, they're happy. There's no denying they're happy. Dietrich's a little bit more of a showboat. He was, he had some fun in victory lane, and it was really, really good to see.
Well, I think he also won the race in a spectacular fashion. He didn't lead until just a few laps to go. So, in the past, when Kreitz, other people have won it, they've led a lot of laps. Where this race, he earned that win. I mean, he worked really hard to make that pass in Saldana. So I think it made it that much more exciting for the PA fans.
Indeed. When you beat Joey Saldana, Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, and David Gravel, when they're in the top five, and you had to pass them, and they're all behind you in the top five. That's pretty good. So we'll talk to Danny in a little bit, but that was fun. Great fun up at Port Royal as well. Likewise, similar feeling. The one thing we had in Pennsylvania is two very popular wins.
Yeah.
Logan Schuchart, and we'll talk to Logan in a little bit. And we actually had him on our podcast last week, and I asked him, if you win one of these races, are they going to claim you or not?
I was going to say, what is
He's everyone can say yes. That's the whole thing. And he's the one, he's Switzerland. It's like he's not one side or the other. Everyone loves him. Okay. Everyone loves him.
Good,
exactly.
Good.
But it was funny. I thought the social media was really interesting. Williams Grove, right as Dietrich could not have made it all to turn 2 after the checkered flag, and Williams Grove on their Twitter tweeted, "Who won?" asking for a friend. Something about the posse.
Yeah.
Schuchart wins on Saturday. And again, he couldn't have been on the backstretch. The World of Outlaws, Logan Schuchart wins, Outlaws win, or something about the Outlaws. They claimed
right
him
away.
real quick. So, and that's the rivalry. That's the fun of it. And it was just a good weekend up there. So, and we'll talk to Logan Schuchart as well. When we look at the season with the Outlaws versus the Posse, there was 9 scheduled races. Turned out to be 10 because the National Open was rescheduled.
Yep.
So in the 10 attempts, 4 rainouts won. Okay, Lance Deweese won 2 of them. Donnie Schatz, Darren Pittman, Danny Dietrich, Logan Schuchart. You put Schuchart in the category of the Outlaws, it's 3-3.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that rivalry. Look at the top
true
5s.
rivalry.
Look at the top 5s, okay? Williams Grove. This is the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery results page, okay? Top 5s. Dietrich, Saldana, Sweet, Schatz, Gravel, okay? 1 Posse, 4 Outlaws, okay? Let's turn it on to Saturday night. Schuchart, Hodnett, Schatz, Wolf, and Deweese. 3 Posse, Logan Schuchart, and then you got Donnie Schatz ruining everything, you know what I mean? But, and that's the beauty of that rivalry is that you can, sweeping the podium, sweeping the top 5, it's possible to do there, as we've seen in Ohio and some other parts of the country, but it just happens every time. 3 wins for each side.
Yeah.
Top 5's pretty even.
Very even.
It's crazy how good that rivalry is, and just some really good racing. Continuing here on the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery page, on the covering the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars. King of the West Series was the 31st annual Penny Newman Grain Classic, Cotton Classic. It was Rico Abreu, and Rico's just been doing this.
He's been on a tear.
Yeah, he won at
Cross
Eldora a
country,
couple weeks ago. Now winning out on the West Coast. So good stuff, Rico Abreu. I like this top 3: DJ Netto and Corey Eliason. Really, a lot of young talent there, young drivers. Neil Tire Midwest Open Wheel Association, the MOA Sprints, presented by Casey's General Store. Friday night it was Ian Madsen. Saturday night Joey Mohan picked up the win, and Parker Price Miller the champ.
Yeah, he's
really
having
cool.
a good run.
Yeah, he's having a
lately.
good, good stuff lately.
A lot of podiums.
Okay, Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. They're at Devil's Bowl, okay, for the 42nd Annual Winter Nationals. Johnny Hollywood Herrera picks up the win. Your reaction is the same. Smile.
Yeah.
When Johnny Herrera wins, I was trying to hang in there with the racing boys, and I didn't make it Friday night, okay? So I get up and I go check my email, and I see Johnny Herrera wins, and I get a smile.
Yeah.
You just do. He's
such a good guy. He's been around the sport for so long. And he's put a lot into the sport.
Yes, he has. He really has. So he picked up the win. And then another great story on Saturday night, it was John Carney II. He was the guy we talked to a few weeks ago, the 305 racer that makes a living running 305s, but once in a while jumps into something a little stouter as far as cubic inches go. And he picked up the win at Devil's Bowl.
Big win for him.
Yes, big win for him. Now, okay, I just saw this a few minutes ago, though. My buddy Scott Traylor with Racing Boys, okay, just posted a video, okay? The announcer for the ASCS National Tour, Brian Hobart, okay, he sang the national anthem.
Really?
Well, this is the same guy. Now, this story goes back, and it might have been when Kendra and I were doing the show earlier in the year when Kendra was doing it with us. But during PRI last year, Brian had to leave the PRI show to go officiate Johnny Herrera's wedding.
Oh, wow.
So he's licensed, deemed, crown, whatever, to do that.
Ordained,
exactly, to do that. Okay, so they're at Devil's Bowl, and it says every announcer's biggest fear is that the national anthem is not going to work. It didn't. So Brian sang it, and it was spectacular.
Wow.
You can go to Racing Boys there. I think it's on their Facebook page.
Man of many hats.
I know. He sang it, and it was outstanding. It's like, well, they're going to get him now. I mean, it's like, hey, can you come sing the anthem at the Cup races?
Yeah, next American Idol.
Exactly. Where's he at? I mean, Simon Cowell would have even liked it. So Brian, nice job with the anthem there. They, like I said, Racing Boys had it on, I think, on their Facebook page. And I tried to share it and couldn't get the links to work and anything else. But that Lucas Oil family is they just have a good time. And the drivers, when they're done, what they do with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour during the pre-race is they hand the mic. They have the drivers line up on the front stretch or in the grandstands, and they have them hand the microphone. Hi, I'm Erin Reitzel, Clute, Texas, whatever. Johnny Herrera, and they hand it down and announce. So the drivers are all standing there, and they get down to the end, and Brian takes the mic back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, it doesn't work. Brian sings it. You should have seen the drivers. They're all walking over congratulating him. It's like, dude, we didn't even know. So, I mean, it's just fun stuff. It's just
cool
really
story.
cool. So, Brian, good job singing that. That's for sure. Lernerville Speedway, A.J. Flick picked up the win in the Steel City Stampede. Craig Kinzer won at Millstream Speedway, the Trick or Treat 30. And there you have it, your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery results page. Classic Ink. Great T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, towels, hats, and a whole lot more. Find out why great drivers like Brian Brown, Donnie Schatz, Danny Lasowski, Brady Bacon, and Danny Dietrich choose Classic Ink. You can too. ClassicInkUSA.com. That's www.classicinkusa.com. Did we mention Danny Dietrich? He joins us next.
Hi, I'm Craig Kinzer, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
A dead battery can leave you stranded, so get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Need a replacement? Purchase a Superstart Extreme or Superstart Platinum battery and get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after a mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Helping racing families heal. That is the driving mission behind the Steve King Foundation. Founded after the tragic passing of Steve King at the Knoxville Nationals in 2006, the Steve King Foundation has donated $300,000 to more than 150 individuals and families across 26 states, Australia, and Canada. Now in its 10th year, the foundation has launched Donate 88, an effort to raise $88,888 to continue the work of the Steve King Foundation to families in need. To make a donation, simply text the word Donate 88 to 620-450-4604. And for more information and other ways to donate to the Steve King Foundation, visit them online at www.stevekingfoundation.org.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back, everyone. We are glad you joined us here on MRN Wing Nation. In 1963, Williams Grove Speedway decided to put this big event together at the end of the year, and Gordon Johncock won the first one, 1963. Other winners along the way, Kenny Weld, Lou Blaney, Steve Smith, Van May, Lynn Paxton, Doug Wolfgang, Kenny Jacobs, Fred Raymer, Donnie Schatz, Billy Pouch, Don Kreitz Jr., Sammy Swindell, Steve Kinzer, and adding his name to the list, joins us on the Hercules Tire Hotline. Danny Dietrich is on the line. Hello, Danny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hello. How are you guys today?
We are doing fantastic. What does it mean to have your name added to that list that I was just talking about?
It means a lot. You know, just being able to win something you only get a shot once a year at. You know, and to beat the guys that are on the Outlaw Tour and all the invaders that come in for this race, it's a pretty big deal to us and our team.
Danny, you said post-race that if you had asked you at lap 10 if you thought you'd be in victory lane, you would have laughed. What changed? Did you guys make adjustments during the red flag? At what point in the race did you realize, all right, I do have the winning car?
Well, that's part of the fun of Williams Grove. You know, the track changes, and you know, we had that red flag that was opened up, which at first I didn't want it to be opened up because I thought we were just starting to get better, you know, and I thought the track was coming to us, and we made the right adjustments under the red and allowed us to get to that point where I felt like we had a shot at winning. You know, before the red, we had got ourselves up to, I think, third there and felt pretty good, but it got a lot better after that.
Danny, the bottom in turn number 4. Williams Grove is such a unique place because the long straightaway, so you need the speed, but the turns are so tight. And really even 1 and 2, it's more of a general question, but you seem to really have it nailed down in 3 and 4 most of the time. How tough is it to keep momentum while having to turn so tight on the bottom there?
It's something that I've been kind of working at myself over the last couple months. We almost won a race earlier this year, racing with a buddy of mine, Erin. You know, being able to run the bottom down there and just consistently trying to hit it lap after lap. There's no way you could go from the top to the bottom every other lap and be able to run the bottom in 3 and 4. It's kind of something that as a driver you have to commit to running, because you got to take a little bit of a note every time you drive down there, every time you run down there to get better the next lap. Because it's definitely the toughest thing to do at Williams Grove is to run the bottom of 3 and 4.
Danny, with like 8 or 10 laps to go, you went into 3 and 4, tried to hit the bottom. It looked like you kind of dive bombed it in there and lost a bunch of momentum. At that point, did you feel like you had lost the race, or did you feel like maybe you knew what to do the next time to prevent that from happening?
Well, I went in there hoping to be able to slide up in front of Joey. It was kind of a failed slide job, if anything else, but I wanted to be able to get in front of him. More than anything, I wanted to be able to let him know that I was there, hoping that he would get to the racing, driving the car harder and screwing up himself, maybe getting his head a little bit. It's tough to do that with guys that race as much as the Outlaws do, or as long as Joey's been around. But, it's something that back home here you can kind of get in somebody's head a little bit, and it might have just been an initial reaction of my own, just to kind of throw it in there and see where I come out, see how good I was through the middle. But, I didn't think I threw it away at that point in time. I knew I was pretty good, and I knew we were coming up on some lap traffic, and it seemed like every time I'd lose a little ground, I could make it back up. So I was just kind of throwing everything I had out there to try and get by him.
Man, I'll tell you what, it made it exciting, that's for sure. And with a lap and a half, you scored the victory. When a Pennsylvania driver wins, when the World of Outlaw come to town, it gets a little crazy afterward. And when it's the National Open, it gets a lot crazy afterward. Do you remember much? I mean, was Victory Lane, do you remember, or do you see pictures and say, I forgot that I even saw that part? What was it like after winning that big event?
It was pretty huge. You go into Victory Lane, and there's so many people there, and they roped it off, which was kind of nice. It allows you to be able to enjoy it with your team like it would be a normal night.
Yeah.
But around that, I mean, there's so many people there with the media, and so many good people there with the people from the Grove and the Outlaws and Champion Oil Company there. I guess they wanted me to stop in Bear Hill, but I didn't want to. I stopped there but didn't get down. I wanted to get back to the Victory Lane there, where my crew and my family and my car owner and everybody was there to enjoy it with. It's kind of one of the moments where you just want to get back and celebrate the moment with them.
Danny, after having such an incredible night on Saturday night, how difficult and humbling was it to go to Port Royal the next night and have a DNQ?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you asked that, not me. That's it.
I know. I didn't even want to ask. But
Erin's the one that asked that.
Hey,
Erin's the one that asked that.
It's part of the sport. We got to talk about it, right?
Yeah, it's a humbling sport we participate in. I take complete blame for Saturday. I laugh it off now. We won the biggest outlaw show in the area the night before and go there and don't even qualify the following night. It wasn't a lack of effort or anything like that. It was literally the driver who does the fuel settings just got the wrong settings in the car. It's a very touch and go deal with the motors we run. And Friday night we hit them right. Saturday night I hit them way off. Just different track, needed different fuel settings, and I take complete blame. There's nobody to blame but myself. But it's pretty easy to drive home on Saturday night when you didn't even burn up a tire and you still got a $25,000 check sitting there waiting to be going to the bank on Monday morning.
Well, that's a good time to do it. You're right. That's a real good
Easier
time
to
do
get
it.
over that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of not burning up a tire, did you? And I shared this on Twitter. Your wall there in your race shop. This is Erin. This is really cool. And
I know I shared
with you.
Yeah.
Have you got that tire on the wall yet, or is there a ceremony coming up, or are you going to wait till the end of the season? And what Danny has is the wall. They have a sidewall from a winning tire from every race he's won. This one here is a pretty good one to add. Has the celebration happened yet, or is that an off-season celebration?
We'll probably celebrate over the off season. We didn't. Everybody says, "Well, did you celebrate too hard? Is that what happened? For Saturday?" And the funny part is, I don't think any of us celebrated at all. I had a couple beers, but that was about it. It was still business as usual on Friday night and Saturday night, and we'll make up for it later in the off season. But we'll get that tire up on there. There'll probably be something that goes with it. Everybody got a little something. All the crew members got a little something to take home with them, and I got a belt to take and hang on my wall someday, and everybody's gonna get a little piece of this win.
That championship belt, that's pretty cool.
That is very
that was
trophy.
pretty cool what they did there. It was just definitely unique.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. Danny, I know you're slated to come down to Charlotte next week. This weekend, are you going to Port? Or are you going somewhere else? You taking off? What's the plan for this weekend?
We're scheduled to go to Port on Saturday. Boy, the weather is going to be cold here Saturday. It's supposed to be 80 here all week. It's supposed to cool down. I think a high of 57 on Saturday with 20 mile an hour winds and 40 mile an hour gusts. And I don't know what we're going to do. It's kind of one of them things where we could probably call it a season. My car owner would probably be happy, but we're not going to do that. It's just a matter of picking what we want to do here on Saturday. We'll definitely be at Charlotte next weekend, and I don't know, with how hard Port Royal gets on motors and the cool temperatures and everything, I don't know if he'll want to go or if we'll even want to go, being this late in the season.
Because it is, and it is. We heard a lot of that talk in fact, the fuel consumption at Williams Grove and everything else. This has got to be brutal with those big tracks, and you're right, on an engine, it's got to be a real test for them.
Yeah. I mean, these good air we have up here in the Northeast this time of year. I mean, we were, I think, like 600 or 700 feet below sea level Friday night. If that tells you how good the air was up here, it was pretty incredible, and that's why they're on such an edge. And one little screw up, and you could really damage a motor. We didn't hurt our motor on Saturday night, but we could go up there this coming Saturday, and it'd be pretty easy to do. Just because of how good the air is going to be, and I don't know, it's going to be a late night. They have a heck of a show coming up there at Port Royal Saturday for the 305s, and there's going to be a lot of cars, and I think my car owner, he's pretty content. Just he could call it a year right now after winning the National Open.
I bet Gary could. Just sit there and count his apples and count his pears and keep right on going with Sandoz there. Danny, I'll tell you, just so much fun watching you race this year, and real thrill watching you win that one on Friday night and enjoying the celebration. Congratulations on the win. Thanks for the time. We'll see you next week here in Charlotte, and thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
No problem. Thanks for having me. We'll see you next week.
There we go. That is Danny Dietrich joining us here on the program. And I think that's the thing is that Danny is certainly enjoys the celebration, enjoys the chatter on Twitter. But I think the thing that I've really gotten to respect Danny about is he also appreciates the heritage and the history. I mean, his father raced.
Yeah.
I mean, and he understands. The National Open is, yes, it pays $25,000 to win, but the significance of it, and I think that's the thing. He has a huge passion and respect for the sport as well. Even though a lot of the old folks say, I don't like the way he does things, Danny does have a huge passion for the sport and appreciation for it, exactly. And that's why I think it's so cool when you see a guy like that win one of the big ones and add his name to the list, because that matters.
Yeah, it means a lot to him.
And so really great stuff. And I can't wait to hang out with him a little bit next week for the World Finals. Let's step away because when Danny won on Friday night, went to Port Royal, and he talked about his night significantly different. For Logan Schuchart, he picked up the win, and he'll join us next here on MRN Wing Nation.
Hey, this is Jason Sides, and you're listening to Steve and Kendra on Wing Nation here on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
O'Reilly.
A dead battery can leave you stranded, so get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Need a replacement? Purchase a Superstart Extreme or Superstart Platinum battery and get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after a mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Time now for a look at a great American dirt track presented by another great American dirt track, the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway.
I'm Ashley Stremme. What it lacks in history, it makes up for in great racing. Stockton Dirt Track at San Joaquin County Fairgrounds in California opened in 2013 on a seldom-used horse track. Local farmer Tony Nocetti built a 3/8 mile track after being a car builder and former modified and stock car driver dating back into the 1970s. He had previously rescued the Stockton 99 asphalt track and approached the fairground about converting the 1 mile horse track to a dirt track. Eventually, the fairground agreed and the Stockton Dirt Track held its first race, a World of Outlaws race won by then NASCAR rookie Kyle Larson, who made a bold pass on Tim Kaeding in the closing laps. While Stockton Dirt Track does not hold weekly racing events, it does host many races each year with the World of Outlaws, King of the West, IMCA Modifieds, and the Civil War Series. Stockton Dirt Track, a great American dirt track brought to you by another great American dirt track, the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway.
Thank you, Ashley. If you would like to talk more about the Stockton Dirt Track, you can do it at facebook.com/wingnation, facebook.com/wingnation. This is one of those weird ones that you have not been to because it was just built in 2003. I actually have been there. Went up to the race, and I think it was that race that was referenced, that first World of Outlaw race. Tony Nassetti, first off, a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is an asparagus farmer.
Oh,
and yeah, you should. I mean, he sent some samples home.
I love some asparagus.
Man, I do too. This was great. Gary, he actually gave a bunch of it to Gary Selzy, and then Gary was handing it off in the pit area, and I ended up getting a bundle of it, and I mean, it was spectacular. But a great racetrack, as she said, farmed out or built out of the old horse track, the old horse racing track. Great little racetrack. The other thing I remember about that night is Jack was in the race, okay? And we're standing there, Beersy and I are standing there, and we're watching Race Monitor, and Beersy nudges me and says, Jack's the fastest car. No, he just went faster, and you could see it turn green or whatever it does on Race Monitor, and we're watching, and the next thing you know, we go into turn number 1, and you see this car above the lights just absolutely
How did I know
tumbling.
that's where that story was headed?
He got faster and faster and faster. The good news is Race Monitor notified us there was going to be a big crash because you just looked at Jack's times, and we had so much fun up there. And so Stockton Dirt Track, our great American dirt track, presented by another great American dirt track, Port Royal Speedway. Again, facebook.com/wingnation to talk a little bit about Stockton if you choose to. Hey, joining us, a gentleman that has a real good experience recently at Port Royal Speedway is Logan Schuchart's on the line. Hello, young man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
We are doing well. Logan, you and I chatted on our weekend podcast presented by Hefner Racing Products last week. And, I asked you what a win in Pennsylvania would mean to you. We talked a little bit about the Posse Outlaw thing and everything like that. A little did we realize, and I know you had a lot of hope when we talked about that you would go do it on Saturday night. So what does a win at Port Royal mean to you?
Oh, it's hard to say, but in July we got to win our first race, and just because we've been trying for so long, and we've been we worked, a lot of hard work went into these cars the last couple of years, and to finally get one in July, that meant a lot just to finally get a win. But I don't know whether this one tops it or not. It's hard to say that, but since we went on the Outlaw Tour, that's all we've talked about is, if we could come back home and win a race at home in front of, our friends and family, and kind of show them what, we've been working for these last couple of years. And to finally get it done was an awesome experience. It felt like some of those, we've had some big wins in Pennsylvania as posse members, and won some big races. And, I haven't, that race in July, it was just my grandfather, a couple of our friends, and Jake, Joe work on the car, and Jacob, and so there's about 5 of us in Victory Lane, and this weekend there's probably about 50 of us in Victory Lane. So it kind of felt kind of more of what it used to be when we had race in Pennsylvania and win a race, and it was a great feeling to come across those scales and know that it was cars good to go, and get to meet and greet all my family in Victory Lane, and let everybody that puts their hearts into this team that was able to be there and be a part of it, and be able to actually be there and experience it.
That's awesome. Logan, we've been having a lot of fun with this posse versus outlaw thing. So, all right, you got to check a box after the race. Do you claim the win for the posse? Do you claim one for the outlaws?
She's putting you on the spot here.
Yeah,
It's all right. She lit Dietrich up earlier, so she's
I'm on a roll
today.
On
a roll today.
Yeah.
My gosh. So what's
I got to check the box.
Yep.
I'll let you off the hook.
I'm proud to race with the Outlaws. That's what I wanted to do since I was a little kid. But the Outlaws are definitely the highest stage. It has the best drivers, and that's what everybody wants to do. It pays the biggest races, but I'm always going to stay true to where I came from, and I love Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania posse and what it means, and I love the tracks that I grew up on. So I'll always be from Pennsylvania. That's where I always call home, so I guess you can chalk it up one for them.
Aha! There we go.
Yeah,
and the state of Pennsylvania has again lost their mind as they did Friday night and Saturday night. So
good for you.
We go.
Sticking to your roots. I like
that.
that.
That's great. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, What did your grandfather? I love your grandfather because whether you win or whether you change an engine or anything, he seems to be the same. What was his level of pride, you think, Saturday night?
Oh, he's definitely excited. He won't show it a whole lot at that time. It's I've actually asked him before, but I know how he is. I'm with him every day, but sure. He'll probably get more excited at running second because he knows how close you are to winning than when he does when you actually win. When you actually win, he gets almost that fire, that attitude, like we should have already been here, kind of thing. And but I know how he is. He never quits, and he's got an amazing drive to win and just get better. So that's just how his attitude is, and somebody posted a video of him on the last lap. You can see me kind of go by him in the background. He's not even looking at me. But he's probably already looking at the next race, and he's looking about how we can make his car faster and motors. And he's just constantly motors going through his head, building motors and making race cars. So it's just how he is, and it's all he thinks about 24/7 is race cars.
Speaking of your grandfather, he said after the race that he felt you guys really came into your own halfway through the season. He said you guys had, I believe, a different car or engine package. Is there something that you think you hit on halfway through the season where things have kind of come together?
We've definitely we've kind of got to know our race cars better. I mean, before it was a guessing game, and it's so easy to be awful in these cars. You can make some small little changes that are going to make you not feel good on the racetrack, and it's just small changes that's made us look so much better than what we did in the first half of the year. And our motors have gotten better. I feel like we have good motors that run well on the racetrack, and we can hook the power up with the cars and put that power to the racetrack. So we just have good cars, and I think it's an experience that we've learned over the last couple of years to put in our notes and use them when the time comes.
The World of Outlaw Tour doesn't rest, that's for sure. You get the chance to celebrate a little bit. It has to be nice to be home celebrating the Port Royal win, but you guys are or will soon be loaded up and headed to Kansas for the weekend. Lakeside Speedway and the Sedalia High Banks. Tell us a little bit about those tracks as you get ready to go this weekend.
There's some big, fast racetracks kind of in a way similar to, I'd say Lakeside's more similar to Port Royal than what Salina High Banks is, but they're both big racetracks, and I feel like the car we're running right now is where it wants to be. It likes big racetracks, and so hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling. And I like both these racetracks. They put on good races, and they're exciting for the fans, big, fast, but they also get slick and widen out. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm glad we're making them up, and we have a couple races before we go to Charlotte and the World Finals. So we're actually heading out today. We're packing up and putting a spare car up top and loading up and heading down the road.
Logan, the season will be over in just a few short weeks. Do you have any plans for the off season? Are you going to Australia? Are you going to stay home and work on things? Any specific plans?
I am going to go to Australia. I'm going to go over and race for John Weatherall in Brisbane.
Wow.
Very cool.
Man, that's fantastic. Yeah, because you didn't get enough this year.
Never enough.
Oh, my gosh. It's amazing. It really is. And then, of course, now your team does you have a fundraiser. When is that? January, early February? Is that still on the Shark fundraiser?
Well, we got snowed out last year, so we had
right.
it in July when we came back for the Summer Nationals. And it kind of messed up our schedule a little bit. And a lot of the fans and stuff seemed like they liked it better in the summertime. It was always easier for us to have it in the winter because we weren't racing. But it seemed like everybody had a lot more fun in the summer. We had a dunk tank and water guns going, and just it was a hot day. It made it a lot more fun for everybody. You could be outside. So I don't think we're going to have one over the winter. It was too quick to get it going. And it's a lot that goes into that deal. So I think we're gonna take the winter off, and we might have one during the summer when we come back for the Summer Nationals again.
There we go. Stay tuned, folks. It'll be fun no matter what. It really will. Logan, congratulations on the win. Second World of Outlaw Craftsman win this season. Doing it in front of the home crowd up at Port Royal. Congratulations. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend in Kansas, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week at Charlotte.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
There we go. That is Logan Schuchart joining us here. Just a great story.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I find amazing is that 3 years ago, 2 years and 10 months ago, whenever it is when Bobby Allen said he was going to do this, the rolled eyeballs were like, oh boy.
Yeah.
You know, the only problem we all had with that, and I don't know I think it's people that know more, they were like, this makes no sense in the world except for it's Bobby Allen. It was kind of like, if one man can do this.
Someone can do it, it's going to be him.
It's Bobby Allen because that's how he lived his whole life. And he went to Knoxville in 1980 and whooped Sammy for the Nationals. I mean, so everyone would say, man, I don't know if he can pull it up, but it is Bobby Allen. Well, here we are, and he talked about, the first year we're just trying to survive. Second year, we're going to see if we can have some good races. By third year, we'll be running up front.
You predicted that, yeah.
Well, I mean, they won earlier. That win was his 17th top 5 this year. Last year, they had 6.
That's a cool story.
It's just
Very
amazing what Bobby Allen has done. And we have Logan, who was, if you will, Logan was his rock star. We knew Logan was, Logan ran a lot around Pennsylvania. But then Jacob Allen. There's been a couple races where Jacob Allen's he's almost won a couple also. And so you all of a sudden you have this 2-man team that's really, really getting good. And it's a great story on top of that.
It is a great story because running that tour is not easy when you are well funded, let alone if you're trying to scrap things together to keep yourselves out there with 2 cars.
Right, exactly.
Really,
amazing
really
stuff
story.
what they've done, and just fantastic. Congratulations to those guys for winning. Hey, let's take a look. Speaking of great things, let's take a look at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. They're, of course, in the middle of their Expand the Dream program. Oh, by the way, I saw pictures again today. Tuesday must be they just send out pictures of the Expand the Dream, but also got an email. Okay, now you need to get those raffle tickets, folks, because the Sprint Car drawing is coming up. Did you get your raffle? You're gonna win. What if you win that Sprint Car?
No, I do not need another temptation to get behind the wheel. Like I no. I support the Hall of Fame in a number of ways, but I just can't be tempted again to get behind the wheel.
I mean, I'm not busting on you not supporting them.
No, I just can't put my.
You don't do the raffle thing though.
I don't put a sprint car in front of me with my an invitation. That's just mean.
You want it, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'd be tempted, and if we want it, well, you got to run it, and then you fall back into the whole deal. I'm a mom. I need to be responsible. I'm just trying to convince myself.
All right.
So therefore, I didn't buy a ticket. Did you?
Yes, I have. I actually bought one out at the
You're
National.
You're gonna wheel the car if you win?
Oh yeah, that's what we need right there. That's what we need right there.
I'll come help. A little driving lesson.
Exactly. Stuff. We need me wheeling a car. That's for sure. It is the Expand the. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's not what we need.
It might help, being on the radio, you get to talk about what it feels like behind the wheel.
You want to talk?
We're going to set this up.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to talk about planting the car in the racetrack?
Talking about Jack Hoddenchild up in the fence.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, well, there's too much weight in that car to get to the fence with me in it. So they are in the middle. All of this to tell you, they're in the middle of the Expand the Dream program, and you can get. Birthdays. We talk about birthdays a lot of times with them. And it's kind of a quiet week as far as Hall of Famers go. Wednesday, Brian Brown's birthday. Friday, Chad Kemenaw's birthday. Saturday, Dave Argabright, Lucas Wolf, and Shane Cottle. So, but today, and he's not a member of the Hall of Fame, but I think it's the spirit of the Hall of Fame as well, Ralph Parkinson Jr., okay? Ralph was born in 1929, Wichita Falls, Texas. In 1946, he started racing midgets and big cars after the war. I mean, it's just amazing the history that this brings us with that. Lots of win, a couple of championships with IMCA, the BMRC, Badger Midget Racing Club. But I was just reading and studying him, and he was inducted into the Knoxville Raceway Hall of Fame in 2003, I believe that was. I think I wrote down 2001, but it's 2003, I think. But just reading about it, and I read this on a post, and this is why I love the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, because it makes you go back and it makes you learn about somebody. And this wasn't the guy that was winning every championship in every race. He won a fair share of races and won some championships. But someone posted this. It says, Ralph was one of the several drivers that helped define sprint car racing in the Midwest, particularly in Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. I saw Ralph win some hard-fought IMCA races, especially really hard-to-win heat races. Ralph was always greeted you with a big smile. The IMCA racers built quite a fan base and helped make sprint car racing what it is today in the Midwest, interesting getting interesting many young fans in the sport as well. Ralph was one of the great participants in those races. And, there's a lot of times, like I say, we celebrate the big wins, but guys like that are out there, won some races, maybe didn't get all the glory that they wanted to do, but put it on and attracted generation after generation of fans. And when we think of great regions of sprint cars, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska.
I was just thinking that.
That's amazing. So Ralph Parkinson died in 2010 of cancer. So, but today's his birthday. Today would have been his birthday. And it's those stories that are contained in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. So great stuff, and we appreciate it. SprintCarHof.com. That's www.sprintcarhof.com. Let's step away because it's Trophy Cup time. Now that we've got the World of Outlaw races out of the way, the National Open out of the way, now we go Trophy Cup. Heading west to the Trophy Cup, and the reigning champ of the Trophy Cup, Bud Kaeding, he joins us next.
I'm Danny Holcraver, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
The 25th year of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series is about to begin.
Expanded national and regional tours, over 150 events across the United States, and some of sprint car racing's biggest names and rising stars.
The 25th anniversary of the Lucas Oil ASCS is one you don't want to miss. Find out when the American Sprint Car Series is near you in 2016 at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
and catch all the action away from the track live at RacingBoys.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in crafting hydraulic cylinders and components with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger and creating more opportunities for distributors and repair facilities. Crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. Aggressive Hydraulics.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
Honoring sprint car racing's greatest achievers.
25 historic sprint cars on display. A movie theater featuring sprint car racing film. And a breathtaking view of historic Knoxville Raceway. Go to SprintCarStuff.com for the largest sprint car gift shop on the planet. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Having a great time here on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Let's go back to the Hercules Tire hotline. Joining us now from the West Coast, he is the reigning champ of the Trophy Cup, running second in the King of the West points now with one race remaining. Bud Kaeding's on the line. Hello, Bud. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
How you guys doing?
We are doing fantastic. We want to talk a little Trophy Cup, but also we see you're in quite the point battle, having a solid year in the King of the West. How's things been going for you out there?
They're up and down. It seems every time we get ourselves in a good position to capitalize on a decent point night on Kyle Hurst. If he trips up, it seems that we trip up too. But we were 60 points down 3 races ago, and I think we're down to about 28 or 30. So we got our work cut out for us with one race to go. But no points this weekend. We're really looking forward to getting back out there and defending our Trophy Cup title.
But the Trophy Cup seems to be, it's becoming one of the biggest races of the year. Everyone's talking about it. What makes this race so much fun, and what makes it so big? Is it the track? Is it the point system? What is it that makes it so great?
I think, it's the track. I mean, there's so much action at Tulare. Doesn't matter where you're at in the field or what race you're watching, whether it be the A main or the C main. I mean, there's always something exciting going on. I know you've been to Tulare, Erin. I think I was there. You won Outlaw race there, if I don't.
I did. It's my favorite track.
Remember, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's changed a little bit since then, but I mean, not a whole lot. The track now at this point's wider, which I think it was the last time you were out there. But it's a lot of fun. It creates a lot of excitement. The fans seem to love it, and I think as the years keep adding up, the car owners start to hate it.
There we go. How do you, the point nature of this, describe how this works as far as this goes, because it's one of the real unique formats that we see in the sport.
Well, it really is. I mean, the points format is pretty typical up until you get to the final night.
Yeah.
Just be like the Knoxville National format. You get points for qualifying, points in your heat race, on your prelim nights. And then, on the prelim night, we invert the top 12 then going into Saturday night, everybody lines up in heat races by points. Then after that lines up all the main events for Saturday night. Then what they do for the feature is they invert the complete A main on Saturday night. And up until this year, the B main transfers used to start in the front of the A main. This year, because it's been a little bit lopsided on the point thing, because there's been some guys come through the B main that finished in the top 4 to 6 in the points, and the guys at the Trophy Cup just didn't feel it was fair that, there's some good runners that lock themselves in the A main that are getting beat by these guys that are getting to start in the front. So the B main transfers this year will go to the back of the A main. So you'll have your high point guy starting 20th this year instead of 24th. So still going to create for some exciting racing. We're really looking forward to it as usual.
But going back to the racetrack, what makes it so racy? Is it the configuration? Is it the surface? Is it the preparation? Like, why is it such a fun track, and why does it allow for so much passing?
I would say all of the above. I mean, the way that it's prepared, the configuration. I mean, it's one of the places where it's, when it gets slick, it's right up against the fence. And last year it was actually right on the fence. The cushion was up on the wall, and you'd get up there and get your right sides up on the wall and drive around it. So there's a lot of variables that make it so exciting and a fan favorite. And in my mind, a lot of us drivers like it. It definitely one of the places in California that separates the men and the women from the boys and girls.
The Trophy Cup is a race that has been won by your father. It was a race that's been won, I think, 3 times by your brother. You went into it last year as with the only one that hadn't won the race. Was there additional pressure, and is it different coming into it this year, knowing that you've got that one checked off from the box?
I mean, looking down, I don't see a whole lot of repeat winners. So
yeah,
obviously there's a lot more pressure because of that. But last year everything happened so fast. We dealt with rain on Thursday, so it was canceled, and we raced 2 shows on Friday. And then there's so many cars and so much going on. You're right back on the track again on Saturday in the mid-afternoon. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to process it or get nervous about it. We're just seemed like we were always moving and always going. When you're not at the Trophy Cup, when you're not on the track, there's a lot of fundraising going on, events they have after the races, before the races. All the money goes toward Make-A-Wish. I think in the 23 years, the Pusateri family and everyone at the Trophy Cup, we've donated over $1 million to Make-A-Wish, which is pretty cool. Just being a local race from what we started it as. My family's been a huge supporter of the Trophy Cup since it started. Hustling up with manufacturers and stuff like that, trying to get everybody involved. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I guess we're so busy, the pressure doesn't really lay in until we're lining up for that main event every now and again. And you're looking at all those cars ahead of you and know that every spot's crucial. And that's what the Trophy Cup's all about, is making up points and passing cars.
But you mentioned the events that go on off the track. And I was checking out the website. There's a lot of great events that they have for the fans and for the racers. But one stuck out to me was Dancing with the Stars contest. What's this all about? You're a dancer now?
What is up with you? Bud, she lit Dietrich up about he wins the National Open, and she asked him about not qualifying at Port.
It's a fair question.
Okay, then she puts Logan Schuchart on the line to say if he's posse or outlaw, and now she's lighting you up about dancing? What's up with you today?
I've done a little dancing, but most of it not clothes, so this will be new for me. I'm not much for country dancing, and that's what we're going out there as, so I don't know. It's like I said, it's all for charity, so it should be a lot of fun. I normally do a pretty good job of making a fool of myself, so I guess this will.
Is this live stream somewhere? Right I hope it's live stream. I gotta see this.
Yeah, we need to stream this. We need to get this covered. Did you say non-clothed dancing?
Did I say that?
I don't know. It sounded like. I mean, it's like. I didn't realize this. We had your brother Tim as a pool boy. We didn't realize we had. I guess. I mean. Wow.
Leave it to Bud.
Exactly.
We have fun.
No doubt about it. It sounds like it, that's for sure. And that's what makes the Trophy Cup. And really to go back in a serious note and to echo what you said, it is absolutely amazing. Over $1 million has been raised for Make-A-Wish. And just a kudos to you and everyone else for your efforts in that part. It takes a whole group of sprint car racers to pull this event off, and promoting the event and running the event, and you guys putting on a show and making it such a success. It's really cool. Bud, we appreciate your time, and we wish you the best this week in the Trophy Cup, and then in a couple weeks as you try to get that King of the West championship. But thanks for joining us here today.
Well, thanks for having me on, and hopefully the next couple weeks we can be back on talking about some more triumphs.
There we go. Some big wins, that's for sure. We'll look forward to it. Thanks, Bud.
Guys, have a good weekend. Thanks.
That is absolutely amazing. Bud Kaeding joining us here. And I'm glad we're out of guess with you. You're all twisted up today.
That one wasn't too bad. I mean,
no, I guess it wasn't too bad.
I mean, I think I was.
Did he say? What did he say?
It's a Kaeding. I mean, really,
well, I know
it
that's
wouldn't
the
surprise
problem.
me if that's
well,
what he
that's
said.
the problem with it. If someone said non-clothed, but it's a Kaeding.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, but then I'm like, well, is he talking about dancing in the shower or dancing in a club?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a big difference between non-clothed dancing in your shower and non-clothed dancing in a club.
It's a Kaeding. You don't always
That's
ask
the problem.
questions. You don't ask questions.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Probably shouldn't have even followed up on that now that you mention it. But the problem is that's a Kaeding. Yeah, you don't know because both are really, both might not be out of the equation.
Like you said, they like to have fun.
Yes, indeed they do, and it will be fun this weekend at Tulare with the Trophy Cup. Before we get in any more problems, we probably ought to get out of here. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Stay with us.
I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink at the track and on your back.
A dead battery can leave you stranded, so get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Need a replacement? Purchase a Superstart Extreme or Superstart Platinum battery and get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after a mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease? Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
Hi, I'm Casey Kane. Now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Casey. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Having a great time here on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. If you're coming to Charlotte next week, we're going to be busy with the World Finals. It's going to kick off on Thursday at 10 o'clock for us, 10 a.m. We're going to be at Punchy Whitaker's Tire. Whitaker's Tire, Route 29 in Concord, which is just up from the racetrack. We're going to be doing our Wing Nation weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Product Podcast, and we're going to be doing it with May Charlotte winner Greg Wilson, driver of the Hercules Tire car. So we're going to be out there, meet Greg, hang out with us. They usually have some good food, good fun, and hey, get some tires on your vehicle while you're there. Just drop in.
One-stop shop.
Exactly. So we'll do that on next Thursday at 10 o'clock. Then next Friday, we're going to be live from 1 until 2 in the afternoon. We're going to be at Tom Johnson Camping Center during the World Finals at the dirt track. Tom Johnson Camping right next to the dirt track there. Guests include Joey Saldana, Brian Brown, Paul McMahon, Dale Blaney, Greg Hodnett, Darren Pittman, Shane Stewart, and more. And you can join us live at Tom Johnson Camping. If you're not able to make it to the World Finals and not able to join us, MRN.com or the MRN app. Our special broadcast next week from Wing Nation from the World Finals. During the commercial break, we had Jeff Gordon talking about the Kick It Jeff Gordon Children Foundation, and he talked about kids being diagnosed, and we sit here and we talk a lot of times about this, and we hope it doesn't hit your family. unfortunately, it's hit the sprint car family, and I want to give a mention to TJ Slideways, to TJ for coming upon this one. I saw that on his website this morning. Tim and Leah Dibble, they are the owners of Hartford Motor Speedway in Michigan, and their son, young son Timmy, is fighting the fight. He is right now in the Bronson Children's Hospital in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're going to have the address, and it's Bronson Children's Hospital, Kalamazoo, Michigan, room 306. We'll get it on all of our social media, so we'll get that out there. He's fighting the fight, and where we're going to get this out there and what we want to do is Timmy is a huge sprint car fan. And so we're going to appeal to sprint car fans and to our teams and drivers. Send him a hero card, send him a note, send him a word of encouragement. He's going to be there for a bit. He's got a long struggle ahead of him. He is fighting the good battle, and so we're going to be Timmy Strong with that. And we talk about it hitting your family. Wing Nation, we're a family, and it's hit our family. It really has. And our thoughts and prayers with Tim and Leah Dibble and young Timmy as he battles that battle. And let's get some care packages on the way up there. Let's get some Christmas morning moments where he opens up some things. This is a brutal battle that he's facing ahead of him, and if at least we could put a smile on his face with a cap or a T-shirt or a hero card, I think that would be really, really neat to do. So we can all be part of the Jeff Gordon's Kick It Person of the Week this week. And again, thanks to TJ Slideways for bringing this to our attention. TJ just does a great job, and we appreciate so many of those guys that are really deep in the trenches like TJ. That catch these things because they're so important, far more important than winning national opens and winning trophy cups, although they're great events. This is where it gets to, so we appreciate that, and we'll get that out there, and we appreciate everyone jumping in and helping. Upcoming races Thursday night, the Jason Leffler Memorial. We had Doug Stringer on earlier this year. This is co-sanctioned by USAC and the Power I organization. Great point battles, $20,000 to win. It is the largest winner's purse in midget racing in the United States Thursday night.
That's awesome.
What they've got also is they've got envelopes. They've got a bin of envelopes.
I like this.
$50,000. The winner gets to pick the first envelope. If he does not pick the one for $50,000, they're going to have a fan come down and see if they can pick one for $50,000.
Wow.
How about that? Go to the racetrack and win $50,000.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that. Great USAC point battle, as we mentioned. All the top USAC and Power I drivers. Ricky Stenhouse, they're going to be driving Tim Clausen's, the Clausen Marshall car.
I saw that.
That is really neat. Rico Aber going to be racing in it. Former winners, Zach Dahm, 2014. He won it in 2013. 2014 was Darren Pittman. In 2015, Brian Clausen won the race. So that is Thursday night at Wayne County Speedway in Wayne City, Illinois. 23rd annual, that is, Southwest Contractors Trophy Cup at Tulare. It is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. They even have food. Listen to this. Thursday is chili dog night. Friday is Taco Bravo Fiesta night. And Saturday afternoon, they have a spaghetti feed.
All right, that's on our list for next year.
Yeah, we got to do
Forget
Trophy
the racing.
Cup.
I want the food.
Exactly. And they even have cow pie bingo. How about that? Isn't that great? So the Trophy Cup is going on. Not to be outdone. We talk about the season winding down. This weekend, it's unreal what's happening. Listen to this. Arctic All-Star Circuit of Champions, Atomic Speedway. It is the preliminary night on Friday, $20,000 to win on Saturday, and the All-Star Championship is on the line. Chad Kemenaugh is leading it. Dale Blaney is only 18 points back. Sheldon Hodenshield was in reach with 76 points back. So we have all these races. Oh, the World of Outlaws, they're racing too.
Yep.
World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars, they're at Lakeside on Friday night in Kansas City, Kansas. And Saturday night, they're at the Salina High Banks in Kansas as well. How about this? At the dirt track here at Charlotte, as a preliminary event it's not going to be a preliminary event. It might be bigger than the World Finals.
Yeah.
It is the OneDirt.com World Short Track Championships. Now, they've got a lot of divisions of cars there, and it's going to be just huge. But our friends at USCS, Pete Walton's group, 360 sprints. Friday night heat races, Saturday night, 3,000 to win. And they're going to have a boatload of 360 sprint cars
a lot
there.
of cars, period. There,
I know. Oh, there's going to be cars everywhere. And there's a huge car show. The Good Guys is going on over across the street. Oh my gosh, it is going to be. So if you're thinking about coming to Charlotte, just make it a day, make it a weekend. It is going to be great. It really is. Oh, and not to be outdone, because you can't have a weekend without a race in Pennsylvania, Port Royal, and they're running every sprint car, 305s, URC 360s, and 410s on Saturday night. MRN Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Greg Wilson going to join us. We'll talk about his first season. What a battle, what a struggle it's been. We'll talk about that. And Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Products on Thursday. We're going to touch base with Chad Kemenaugh to talk about that All-Star Championship. My gosh, a lot going on. That's why you need to keep us twisted in at facebook.com/WingNation or on our Wing Nation Twitter account. Man, it's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, busy few weeks we've got coming up.
I know. Then the World Finals next week with all of our fun stuff as well. So it is going to be good. Sadly, we know that once we get about a week or two after that, then all of a sudden we go from busy to starving here. But it is great, and it is really cool. Again, we'll put all of the stuff about Timmy Dibble up on our social media, so follow along with that. We appreciate Tim Kaeding, or Bud Kaeding, for joining us, Danny Dietrich, and Logan Schuchart. But more important than all of that, we want to thank you for joining us here on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.